Hey friends, today I'm coming on with a small haul from Erin Condren, and this was a Black Friday purchase. They had their notebooks for $10, and they also had this home and sort planner, which was around 20 something dollars, and I had a gift card balance that I wanted to use, so I picked up these two items. So let me share with you the notebook first. It did come with this little card to enjoy 20% off my next order. And I chose this really pretty sage green with the flowers. And then it says anchored in crafts and plans here. I plan on using this notebook for my social media planner. Instead of using like a dashboard planner, which I normally use from Happy Planner, I wanted to try something different and something that if I didn't want to continue using this as my social media planner, I could use it as a notebook to jot down ideas and things. So I think this has more of a productivity layout than just like a notebook. So I've got the silver coils, and you've got this little like dashboard over here, so you could use some wet erase markers for this. You've got take note, productivity notebook, do the right thing, and you put your name here. The best way to get things done is to begin, and then it just starts. So you have like a checklist over here. You've got a box here. You could use this for a header, and then you just have some lined paper. And basically the color kind of changes. So you've got this side of the paper, and then you have this side of the paper. So you have a big section of lined here. You have some more checklists, your checklist, and lined here. So you could use this for the whole entire week. But what my thoughts were for this is because I have two channels. I have the Anchored in Crafts and my Anchored in Plans, that this could be my weekly page. So I would probably put the date here and this header bar. So, January 1st and the date. And then I will use one side for Anchored in Crafts and one side for Anchored in Plans, jot down things here, and then my to-do list over here. And then it would flip and it'd be the next week. Or if I don't have a lot going on either channel, then I could just use one page for each week. But that is basically it, just different colors throughout the planner with the same layout. And then at the end here, arriving at one goal is the start of another. And there is also a sheet of some header stickers here. And then you have this like notebook dashboard at the back. And that is this notebook. So I'm excited to try something new for my social media planning. So I can't wait to get started in this. The next thing I picked up was this Home and Sort organizational planner. Has the silver coils, and I customized the color of my planner to this really pretty purple, since that's my favorite color. You open it up, you have that kind of dashboard here, and then we have organizational planner here. You open it up, and this talks about the Home and Sort planner, the 12 months of organization, how to use the planner, monthly focuses. So it talks a lot about that. And then you have all of these different tabs. So 12 months of tabs. So the first tab is declutter, which for 2026, my main goal for 2026 is to declutter. I have so many craft supplies, planner supplies, clothes, other things that clothes I never wear, stickers I don't use, things that, like I've gotten a swap or something, like on the craft side of things, and I've used like all but one of the items, and I don't see myself using the other item. So just things like that. I want to simplify my life and get rid of the clutter. So you open this tab, and then you have kind of your steps, what to declutter, why decluttering matters, 3 decluttering principles to live by, monthly focus, decluttering. So you could go through this and do decluttering in January and products in February, or if you want to wait and declutter in June, you could do this in June. So you don't have to do this in the order that the planner is. You can choose the month, which I love to be able to use that. And then you have a little box here after the how to declutter to brainstorm. So after this page, we have a monthly layout. It's undated, decorated very subtly. Decluttering isn't wasteful. Not everything deserves the space it's taking up. So I like that this is an undated planner. So I love watching Clutterbug videos, and I will leave a link to her YouTube if you're interested in watching any of her videos. But she has the Clutterbug method, and she said each person is a certain bug. So you could be a butterfly, you could be a bee, you could be a cricket, or a ladybug. And I kind of go between being like a cricket and a bee. So I'm a little bit of both of those things. So she has like 30-day challenges where you could make a time limit. You could say you're going to spend 10 minutes, set a timer on your phone, and for 10 minutes you declutter this one area. And I think this page would be a really fun 30-day challenge. So you could date this, and then you could be like, I think the first is on a Thursday. You could do January 1st if you wanted to start this in January. Of course, you could do any month. But say you wanted to start this January 1st. I would use this note section if this is going to be a 30-day challenge. You could write some notes down here like, set phone timer for 10 minutes. And then on Thursday here on the 1st, you could go closet, bathroom drawers, kitchen drawers, car. And each day you can choose a different category of your home, of your life to declutter and organize. And it doesn't have to be physical items. I know I'm guilty of not cleaning out my email, and it gets so cluttered with stuff that I do not look at or read, and I don't unsubscribe to things. I just keep deleting them. So you could say one of those days you could take 10 minutes and work on deleting emails. So I think this calendar be really nice to set a 30-day challenge for yourself. So after the calendar, you have some kind of guided pages. So you have monthly organization goal, declutter the major zones in your house, the kitchen, pantry, bathrooms, and closets. So you will set yourself a monthly organizational goal. So say you want to donate 5 clothing items, 2 pairs of shoes, and a purse. You could write that down, whatever your organization goal is. You have a checklist here. It does start with a couple things. So get 3 bags labeled keep, donate, trash. Pick an area to declutter. Set a time frame for decluttering. Remind yourself of your organizational goals and give yourself permission to let go of stuff. And then you have more. So if you don't like these things, you could always cover this up with the box. You could always white this out and make your own. You've got a note section here. And then you have a weekly simple sort. Tackle your pantry and food cabinets. Toss any expired foods, empty bags, boxes, and discard old, unused appliances and kitchen tools. You've got areas to declutter, items I challenge myself to declutter, how I feel after decluttering, purpose, how do I feel, and then you have a little tip here. And then you're going to have an entire month of these weekly simple sorts. So you'll have 4 pages of this, 1 page for each week. So, and it gives you some, so like this talks about your pantry, this talks about your junk drawer, your closet, and your bathroom. But you could use this as a guide, or you could do your own. You don't have to follow the book. And then this here is blank for you to choose. The next section is products. So this talks about this being your monthly focus, why products matter, 3 product principles to live by, our definition of a product. So their definition of a product is an organizer's term to describe items such as bins, jars, tubs with lids, containers, and baskets. How to pick your products, our favorite products, and a brainstorming section. So I think for this month, you've decluttered, and you might look at, your junk drawer and say, hey, this junk drawer would look better if I have some small, bins to put my items in. So then you have your another undated monthly, the right product is a game changer. And then we have our monthly organizational goal. Invest in a few products that will help you create a home for your stuff. Your checklist, your notes, weekly simple sort, measure 1 space and pick a few game-changing products. Pain points in my space, so your junk drawer is always getting caught, doesn't want to open. Can never find anything I need in my junk drawer. Our product wish list, action steps, purpose, how do you feel? And then you have your another week, replace your bulky hangers with thinner ones in your closet. Repurpose a basket or bin in your home to something that solves an organizational need. Purchase drawer organizers and bring organization to a drawer where items need structure. And then you have a blank one. So I think this might be helpful to follow along with this because you're decluttering and then you're organizing and then you're labeling. So I may follow this planner month to month, but I don't think you strictly have to. The next tab is labels. So you're going to have pretty much the same thing. Labels are an easy solution to help maintain your organization system and set you up for success. You've got a big brainstorm area here. Your monthly. You have your organizational goal, your checklist, your notes, list of labels, label your kitchen pantry, purpose, how do you feel, closets, bathrooms, laundry utility area, and a blank page. The next section is cleaning. Deep cleaning is a good reset for your home. It has mental and physical health benefits, including lowering anxiety, reducing stress, and boosting your mood. So, if you follow this along, this would be your April section. So, your spring cleaning. Cleaning products at work, how to spring clean. Some of the stuff is pretty simple. And your brainstorm area. You've got your monthly. So if you want to deep clean your house, this would be a good way of tracking what you wanted to clean on what day. So say you have, Tuesday off and you want to take time to wipe down the walls and the baseboards. And then over the weekend, you want to work on dusting the living room here, dusting your bedroom here. So you could jot down those areas that you want to deep clean in your monthly. The notes section, if there's items that you need to buy, you could also use this note section to jot down items that you need to buy to help you with your deep cleaning. You've got, again, your goal. Pick a weekend to spring clean your whole house. This, to me, is not an achievable goal because when you work, you've got kids, you have activities, you have hobbies, you have family and life. I mean, do you want to spend your entire weekend spring cleaning your home? Some people, yes. But I think it's more reasonable to spread out your spring cleaning throughout the entire month. So for me, I set a timer for myself and say I'm going to do something for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And then that way I'm not overwhelming myself. I don't make my pain worse. And I don't tire myself out where I can't do anything the rest of the day. And I find that I'm more productive in the morning. So I'll set my phone for 10 minutes and then I'll go around and, I'll dust something, or I go and load the top rack of the dishwasher. So I think maybe my goal would be like set a timer for 10 minutes to help me with my spring cleaning. That you've got a checklist of the areas you want to spring clean, your notes. You've got your weekly simple sort. Make sure your cleaning products are stocked. If not, restock what you need. Deep cleaning list, tidy organizational list, and cleaning notes. Purpose, how do you feel? And then you have, in preparation for cleaning, search for tricks and hacks for tackling the toughest jobs in your space. Print out multiple checklists and assign tasks to your cleaning helpers. Make a plan for dinner on your deep cleaning day so you don't have to worry about your meals while you're cleaning. I love that idea. And then your blank page. Next, we have digital decluttering. This is awesome. I did not actually know this was in here. A messy inbox is just as bad as a messy room. Email clutter distracts us from messages that really matter, which can lower productivity and raise anxiety. What's delete? How to ditch digital clutter, brainstorming, your monthly, and your different goals, checklists, and some different prompts or ideas for your weekly sort. We have meal prep, which for me, I do meal prep at the end of a month, right before the new month is coming. So I'll do January meal prep at the end of December, or the first or second day in January. And then I make my list for 2 weeks of my grocery list. So I usually meal plan roughly about 2 weeks. And then before those 2 weeks are over, I'll meal plan for the following 2 weeks. And then that way I've got a list of things that I need to pick up at the grocery store. So how to meal prep, talks about that, brainstorming. You've got you could do your meal prepping right here in your planner if you wanted to take the time to fill this out of what you're going to have each night, like Taco Tuesday, French Fry Friday, whatever you want to do. We have our goals, checklists, notes, and our weekly simple sorts. Next, we have events. Events is something that I'm not sure that I will use right now, but I can see this being helpful for in the future. So when you have an organized event, you could serve as host and guest and actually enjoy the entertaining you plan. You've got your must, how to plan, brainstorm, monthly, which I could see this being really helpful if you're having events for holidays. So Thanksgiving or Christmas, using this monthly for that. Goals, checklists, notes, your weekly simple sorts. You've got theme, budget, shopping, and rentals. and it walks you through how to set up for those events. Next, we have seasonal. Changing out seasonal items gives you more space for what you currently need. It frees up space so you can easily access what you need for the season you're in. Living lighter is always a benefit. We have our undated monthly, goals, checklist, notes, capsule wardrobe ideas, special occasion outfits, and shopping list. So this could be good for, I think this could be good for, you know, taking and putting your winter clothes away and pulling out your spring and summer wardrobes. This could be good for putting away all of your Christmas decorations, pulling them out. If you decorate your house in, you know, different curtains or whatever for the seasons, that could be helpful for that. Next, we have shopping. This talks about smart, organized shopping. And it just follows that. Your needs, your wants, save up, buy later. So this talks about inventorying your kitchen pantry, your closet, dresser, utility and cleaning items, bathroom, office, and all bedrooms. And if there's things you need in those rooms, jot them down, and then you can shop for them. Next is style, aesthetically pleasing organization. So this talks about, this touches a little bit on being stylish as you organize. This says, do my organizing containers work with or against the design of my home? Have I recently decluttered? Are my clothes neatly folded and hangers evenly spaced? Are my spices and foods facing the same direction? And this talks about how I want my space to feel, areas to make more stylish, function plus style products needed, and some different topics. Then we have time. So this talks about time management, list, time blocking. So this is telling you to try time blocking, high priority to do's, medium priority to do, and low priorities. Make a list of time management systems to try. Write down the pros and cons of each time management system on your list. Evaluate the pros and cons of each time management system and determine which worked best for you. A time management system would have really helped me as a single mom with a young child. My son was in everything: basketball, softball, soccer, karate, band, like all of these events. And we were constantly going. And I think looking now, if I had to put a time management system in place, that would have helped me being a working mom and, you know, trying to schedule everything to make everything work as a single parent. Time management is so important. And I even think time management is important now for me, because you could get like wrapped up in your phone or a task that you're doing or a hobby that you're doing and kind of lose track of the fact, you know, hey, I do need to get dinner done. I do need to get those clothes washed and folded and put away. I need to get, you know, the dishwasher unloaded, whatever it is. Sometimes we can get so wrapped in other things that we kind of lose track of time that we need to have to do things. And the last one is reflect. So reflecting what you've learned over the past year helps solidify it and bring it into focus. It helps you determine which habits are worth keeping and which are better to discard. Reflecting also helps you celebrate your organizing wins and motivates you to keep going. So we have our final monthly. Reflect on the past year. In what area of organization did you see the biggest reward? List 3 benefits you saw after getting organized. List 3 areas of organization you need to improve. And then you have what I nailed, areas to improve, and what I learned. Take 10 minutes and celebrate the organizational wins you had this year. And we also have some stickers here, so some headers that could go along with each month. And then we do have a pocket back here and this dashboard. So I think this is a really cool planner. I'm really interested in seeing how I work through this, and if this is something that's helpful for me, or if it's something I'll use for a month or two and not pick up again after that. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. I will leave a link to Erin Condren down below, and I'll also leave a link to these 2 planners for you guys in the description box. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.